let's start, though, with the simplest question of all. What is the Sabbath to you?
That's the hardest question. That's the question I don't think I've managed to answer. And first I have to say thank you to Gary and thank you to you for that extraordinary introduction. The Sabbath, the reason I called it the Sabbath world is because the idea was to create the image of this discrete thing, almost like a globe that's hanging before you that tantalizingly is always out of reach. And one of the things that happens in the book and that happens in my life is that I repeatedly try to keep the Sabbath and never quite manage to, because it's this condition of transformation, of complete rest, of sanctification, of otherness, of becoming other than you are, that it's very hard to achieve. But what the Sabbath, I think, throughout history has tried to do is give people the tools to try to achieve it, and given them, a program. I found in talking about this book a metaphor that resonates with people, and it's not in the book, it's a software program. Mm-hmm. It just resonates in our day. The rules and regulations are a kind of, it could be a choreography. It's just it's a set of steps to take toward this world. And of course, every religion has different steps. But for me, it's this thing I can never quite get to, I would say.
You use the expression early in the book, unassuageable longing. And the Sabbath represents that to you, puts you in touch with it, is your way of dealing with it. What's the longing? What's the longing that can't be fulfilled that you're taking off from here?
Wow, this is a personal question. I mean, I think it's at the beginning of the book. I think it's for my mother. I think it's to be held by my mother, and there is a holding. D.W. Winnicott, the psychoanalytic theorist, talks about holding, and the psychoanalytic session holding the patient, and the mother holding the child. And the Sabbath boundaries, I mean, there's all these boundaries in the Sabbath. It's all about boundaries. There's, the boundaries that are temporal, and there's the boundaries that are physical in the Eruv, that the Jews construct. And there's a quality of holding. So I think it's, in a way, to be held. And Thomas Shepard, probably the greatest Sabbatarian thinker and certainly one of the greatest authors in history, who was the first, one of the first ministers in the New World, and certainly the most prolific literarily. I mean, he talks about the Sabbath as a time when you find rest in the bosom of Jesus. And it's rest and holding come together. So I think that's the visceral part of it.